Hi everyone. I believe this to be a positive story. So basically, Rachel, who's an entrepreneur from Dragon's Den, I don't know if you know the program, millionaire, multimillionaire, obviously, but has great experience in that kind of world. And yeah, just have a listen to what they say.
Kind of feel, I mean, I haven't spoken out about this before, but I really felt very called to speak out about it because it's only a matter of time, folks, before speaking out about it is going to be outlawed too, in the interests of the public, in the interests of the people, in the interests of the government, in the interests of keeping you safe. People who speak out about what's going on are going to be silenced in your interests. So it's very important, I believe, for everyone with the conscious awareness to see beyond the lies, to see beyond the smokescreen, beyond the illusion, to start pattern interrupting, speaking out, and saying no, and throwing a spanner in the program, throwing a spanner in the works of this machine which is, I mean, this is a pandemic. This is a machine that is planned, and there are stages.
How often do you hear like people in the public eye say pandemic? So yeah, to me that's a positive. Let's carry on.
And they are. It is like a steamroller, just pushing through, regardless of people. The government is not interested in your health. The government is not interested in your health. The government is interested in command and control. So let's just go back to the backers of the government, the capitalists. Now,
The government doesn't care about your health. How many times do we say that? But certain people in life tell you, no, 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 they've got they wouldn't lie to us.
what's going on there? Well, the answer is really obvious to anyone who's been following what's unfolding in the world. There are mass uprisings, there is global warming, there is mass immigration. There's too many people on the planet for the amount of food and resources which we currently have because of the way things have been organized. One
I think there's enough resources and there's enough space, but I think politically it's told that that's the opposite. They don't. They say there's not enough food. There is enough food, but it's kept out of people's reaches on purpose. Food is used as a control. And then population. If they didn't probably lie about the population, you wouldn't take all these restrictions upon your life and all the propaganda. So it's in their interest to lie about the population, say there's too many people, force everyone into the cities, live on top of each other, and that's why people say, "Oh, look how many people there are here." Same with immigration; they'll allow immigrants in, and they'll all be in the same place, and then people start to think we're being taken over. But if you actually look at the population in general of the country, it's not the case. But they're just concentrated in one area because that's what is supposed to happen. Okay, it's all by design.
percent of the people on the planet hold all the wealth and all of the main assets. These people, they know what is coming. I did an event in the Seychelles last November, a very amazing event, a business event. And one of the interesting things that I was told about the Seychelles, which is all of the mass compliance and everything that is required so that they can have command and control of the people. So COVID is just a cover for this. It's the first stage in the rollout. And of course, no one knows exactly what the master plan is, but we can all have a good guess, and here's mine for what it's worth. So we have COVID, we have mass fear, we have mass compliance around masks. We're already been built up to, everyone has to have a flu vaccination. They're going to put mist up the nose of all the school children. I've said to my sons, do not accept any mist up your nose flu vaccinations. This is all a segue to get us to say yes when the amazing coronavirus vaccines, which
So knowledge is power. So she's saying don't accept mist up the nose. I didn't hear about that. So we're passing on information that I didn't know to hopefully other people that didn't know it. So therefore, to me, that's positive.
Everyone is frantically working on, which by the way were patented by Bill Gates and co. Some time ago, all of the patents over coronavirus and the testing and all of the rest of it, if you watch Plandemic. So they're going to roll out mass vaccinations. And what's going to be in those mass vaccinations? Well, my guess is nanotechnology. My guess is that a bit like a magnetic strip on your credit card, metallic particles which allow you to be AI tracked, which allow you to be policed by drones, which allow your identity to be monitored by machines. And I was heavily involved in the world of AI not so long ago, so I have a bit of an insight into what's already there, not what's being worked on, what's already there and is just waiting to be rolled out. And the key to the rollout is, of course, 5G, and that's what's been happening while we've all been busy diverted onto COVID. What's been happening? All of the 5G networks and cabling have all been laid. All of the skies are being filled, space being filled with satellites, 5G satellites to cover the Earth.
By Elon Musk.
With 5G, essentially broadband, because that is what is needed by the Internet of Things, and that is what's needed if you want to police by AI drones. Because all of this mass compliance, and as people start to realize what's going on, and there are increasing protests and uprisings, how are they going to police it? How are they going to recruit the tens and tens and tens, hundreds of thousands of police officers that are going to have to be required to implement all of the rules and regulations and regimes? And that's why they've had to rush this. I think they've had to accelerate the plan. That's my hunch on it. They've had to press the button before they were quite ready. And what that means is there is a window of opportunity before that window of opportunity closes. And
yeah, exactly. So myself and G Truth and others have been saying the next thing we've got to stop is a vaccine, like this lady says. She's correct. Also concern ourselves with things like 5G. It's all good and well looking at what this word is backwards or what the geometry of this or that is, but at the end of the day we know exactly what's happening. We need to all focus on that instead of wasting our time on things that are all good and exciting to talk about when we're not actually being faced by vaccinations and etc. But like this lady said, there's an opportunity of there's a window of opportunity.
That window of opportunity is to pattern interrupt this machine, this juggernaut of this mass command control compliance machine which has capitalists behind it. You don't have to make too many guesses to realize who must be on the master plan. The mastermind group behind this has to be Bill Gates, has to be Fauci, has to be Zuckerberg, and the people behind Google, YouTube. I mean, look to the people who are censoring content. Will this video even be seen by you? Who knows?
Brilliant. So I think that's a perfect way to end it. She names you all the people that are actually our enemies: Google, Facebook, YouTube, etc. We know the enemy, and that's a positive thing. When you know the enemy, you can plan against the enemy. But if you don't know who it is, then you're pretty much doomed. But yeah, to me it's positive that this lady with a lot of followers and influence is actually telling some truths. She's passing on information that I didn't know myself, so that can only be a positive. So please spread this message wherever you can. There are people talking about what we're talking about, so we are growing in numbers. I think it's just a matter of time before we reach critical mass, hopefully, but we all need to focus and worry about things that are impending, not absorb our minds with trivialities that don't really need to be discussed at this point. I wish you all the best for the rest of your Sunday. Do take care of yourselves. Peace for now.